last night. He has a cat with a large growth on her eye. It is growing rapidly, and thus apply castor oil. When I came home this morning around 11:30 a.m., because I massaged him for hours, we talked. I opened up a lot of things because I consider him to be like a member of my family that they killed off. I've noted that people that are hurt, and he's in a wheelchair, because I listen to people, I also know how to talk. I found out that his dead brother of cancer of the brain after a stroke, who bullied him all his life, and he only apologized at his last countdown for the drunken rages and grossest abuses as an adult. He never apologized as a boy, starting when the kind man of 66 or so years chronological, was sat on by him when he was a baby of a few months old, and the sister, 6 years older, took the 4-year-old boy off of the relatively brand new baby on the couch, took the sofa lid cover off, put him in there like a piece of garbage, and sat on him on his face. I said, well, you're on resuscitation. I noticed that when emotionally you get pained, that you go right on that oxygen. I said, I know a lady, Frida, that's now dead. I knew her for decades. I used to help her, and until the system took her. I said, you're medicated. When I helped Frank Roberts, because Darlene Jura wrote a glowing commendation about me, I have it still. I got him off all his meds right away. I changed his diet radically. They were measuring him up for a wheelchair when I moved in as full-time help with my dogs in a brain injury clinic. I didn't assess him clinically. I helped him psychologically. I emotionally healed him. I was a living foods expert, nurse, compassionate caregiver, and within 2 weeks I healed him completely of diabetes, all his over a dozen diseases that they diagnosed him with. I had pus coming out of my eyes a few hours ago. Yellow pus came out of my eyes and a ball. It came out here. There's someone I know that I've been repaying for a long time for what they took from me. And that's all I'll say, because they're sick, they're bloated, and they're ugly, and they hate themselves when they look in the mirror. And that's why they hate me. They hate what I represent. Anyway, no use talking about them. So this person that is worthy of my attention and affection, of my heart, has been bullied all of his life and almost killed, going way back, which is why he has learned helplessness, close to zero life skills, a hoarder, easily distracted, sets up AA meetings, goes to various AA meetings for 23 years, has not went back to alcohol. Oh, I can't imagine when he drank. I wouldn't know him. There are a lot of dry drunks out there. There are a lot of abusers out there. It all stems from early childhood abuses. Even someone that gets raped. I was raped. Oh, that's another story. Yeah, next time. And by an asshole. Until you admit that you have been harmed, hurt, you will never heal. It's exciting uncovering who you truly are and remembering your infinite beauty, not superficial wrinkles, uh, Botox, unworthiness. Lines are not lies. They tell you where you need to work. They're creases of consciousness. Your face, unlike those that are a sphincter muscle, a fucking asshole on theirs, it's ugly. Ugly. I don't wipe assholes. I lift that upside down smile, that frown, and I bring others up that whence were down. I have ways based on compassion and empathy, hard won sometimes. I was forced to be a warrior. It was either let in the light through the cracks, as they say, or become one of them, because a hurt person hurts others, quote unquote. And I recently heard about this, and a healer heals, and that's me. It was not easy to be healing myself. I had to admit a lot. And I hurt inadvertently those I love the most. And there's another saying, when you know better, do better, or be better, or be bitter. I know so many cynical people. They are not worthy of your attention. A cynic never becomes kinder. He, for the most part, I know some she's too. Nothing in between, pronouns. And I also had a long conversation with a tranny recently. Had to do with trust or not trust, let's just say. It's a wicked title. I may use it for a poem or a book or a play, so I won't give it away here. I used to freely tell people everything. It was a really big lesson to become more discerning. And most are not worthy of earning your respect. So pepper your conversation with words like respect and honor and esteem and reverence and cherish. Put it out there, because then it becomes an action. My throat is closing up on me. I am overextended and I am financially drained from what someone has done to me for a very, very long time. Very harmfully done to me and my child. There is an unwhole circle, broken, disenfranchised losers that have tried, because I'm not dead, so they failed to take me down. By the time someone is a senior citizen, could be a father or a mother, even if they've never produced some sperm that didn't go into a waste paper basket of porn-fueled psychotic fantasies, fixatories. When you raise a child, you either do it well or don't bother to do it. And if you did a poor job, and the proof will be there, then you can apologize and you can change your ways. And if you didn't have a child and you continue to experiment on kind, compassionate, caring, devoted, empathic, super empaths around you, you will be destroyed. You will do it to yourself. My friend in a wheelchair, his brother, as I noted, died a fatal death. He diseased his own brain with cancer. He gave himself a major mind-altering, brain-killing stroke. All of those that emotionally are bunged up, constipated in their ruthless, cunning, manipulative head always die a slow and painful death. They live a long time. They usually outlive their targets. And their target can be their sibling, the scapegoated. It is hugely fulfilling and satisfying to have powerful, empowering conversations and commitments to people of worth. After helping this real man, I was on my bike with a lot of stuff. Apples that he gave me that someone left after I went foraging for apples and didn't find any in the dark, because it's challenging to do that. I was in blackberry brambles at nighttime with 2 dogs. And I met a lady. We started to talk. She's from Singapore. I speak some Cantonese. My father taught me. He's a brilliant man. He's still alive in light. And 30 years ago, he was taken down. I had reserved judgments about him. I had been lied to about him, not by my mother, by others, by 2 aunts that wanted to fuck him, because he was a goddamn hot, sexy, handsome man. Wow, he was. I didn't know that then. So he had anyone that didn't get to tried to attack him. So I had 2 aunts that did that, and possibly more. Yeah, definitely more. They didn't get him because he loved my mother. So they destroyed that relationship, and they stole her house that he gave her because he was so desolate. He was so much in despair. My dad drank then. It wasn't a good way to deal with it. He never hurt his children or his wife that left him. And her life was destroyed. And all her children were taken. I'm one of them, the eldest of 5. It's a story like Frances Farmer, but not by her mother. By an incestuous family that she wasn't part of. And they wanted me. I want aunt, especially in particular, wanted a wealthy aunt of money. Wanted to pay for all my schooling, my university degree, a car, and to move back to Hope, BC, to work at their huge rape and pillage forestry company, the biggest in British Columbia, or was then, that destroyed the Skagit Valley and more. Ended my uncle's life because of a pipe he fell on, another uncle that was another person. So I have been putting together that family story for decades. It's not something new I started working on because things didn't jive. They didn't measure up. I started to blame myself in my life as well when ruthless, cold-hearted, mean-spirited non-people did things to me, told my son lies, distorted his perceptions. I asked myself, why did I view my father through a certain lens, or my mother? Holy crap, because I believed what people told me. I believed almost everything for the longest time. It's nothing unusual until you begin to discern. And trauma causes your mind to stop growing new neural pathways. You then have a backward circular motion, a broken fence that you keep on slicing yourself open with, and you don't climb over it or even cut through it. You let the abusers continually abuse you by developing this pattern, trauma bonding, that they revel in, and they revile you. They will never give you the antidote, even if they knew. They are sick. So you need to elevate your consciousness, and the unconscious are never conscious. And there's a subconscious, and most non-individuals are ruled by their unconsciousness, subconscious, and they thus allow, permit, condone blurring, breaking of boundaries. And that becomes their conditioned programming. And that's just a short little something. Should have been a live Facebook. So I've had very few hours sleep. I sleep on a couch in a very dry, tiny doghouse of a room. And I don't know if you can see how red my eyes are. And I have an exemplary diet. I'd be dead if not. I have somebody that's trying to tell me what to do, how to do it, when to do it. And if you saw this person, it's disgraceful. They hate themselves. And there are only two places to come from: love or fear. Someone that thinks they hate you, does hateful things, is fucking terribly afraid of you. Because I am the truth. You don't have to try to be truthful. You light your way through a lightness of being and a breath of fresh air that I am. Bless you. Support me. Love us. Being of love at gmail.com. PayPal. Being of love at gmail.com. PayPal. May you do what's right before more wrong and woeful injustice comes my way or attempts to get in the way of those that must remain out of harm's way. And I'm one of them, a giver. And the rest are takers, one or the other. A lover is a light. Someone filled with fright is a fucking loser. So do as you might. Make it right. I am Catherine the Grateful. Bless you. And us all.